Imagine this, a single Korea, united from the mountains of the north to the ports of the south. No border, no DMZ, no families separated for generations. Just one country, rich in culture, power, and potential. Hard to picture? That's because for the past 70+ years, the Korean Peninsula has been divided by ideology, by war, and by one of the most heavily guarded borders on Earth. But what if that division never happened? In today's video, we're diving deep into the alternate reality of a united Korea, exploring what the world might look like if the Korean War had never occurred. If the 38th parallel never became a permanent scar. What kind of country would Korea be today? How powerful could its economy be? Would K-pop look different? What about its politics, technology, and even its food? This isn't just a what-if for fun. This is about understanding how history shapes lives and how one decision can ripple through generations. So grab a seat and stick around, because this is the untold story of what might have been, and maybe, just maybe, what could still be. Comment below, what do you think a united Korea would be like today? Let's get started. Number 1. Historical setup. Before we dive into the what-if, let's understand what really happened. For over 3 decades, from 1910 to 1945, Korea was under brutal Japanese occupation. It wasn't just political control. The Japanese Empire sought to erase Korean identity. Language, names, culture, everything was suppressed. But in 1945, as World War II came to a close, the Axis powers fell, and Korea's long-awaited liberation finally arrived. But freedom came with a catch. The Allies, namely the US and the Soviet Union, divided the peninsula at the 38th parallel, the Soviets occupying the north, the Americans the south. This was supposed to be temporary, a placeholder until Korea could be reunified under one independent government. But instead, it became a line that hardened quickly into a dangerous ideological boundary: communism in the north, capitalism in the south. By 1950, tensions boiled over. The North, backed by China and the USSR, invaded the South. The Korean War had begun. What followed was 3 years of staggering destruction, millions of deaths, and a stalemate that ended in 1953, not with peace, but with an armistice. The war technically never ended. And so, Korea remained split, two nations born out of global politics and Cold War rivalry, not out of the will of its people. Today, the 38th parallel has become a symbol of division, pain, and what could have been. Imagine now, if that split never took root. What if Korea had emerged from WWII as one unified country, healing its scars together instead of being forced apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did you know the division was never meant to be permanent? Number 2. What if, no division? Now let's dive deeper into the what if proper. Imagine this. It's 1945 and Japan has just surrendered. The Korean people, long oppressed, silenced, and stripped of their culture, finally see the sun of freedom rise over the peninsula. But instead of 2 superpowers stepping in and slicing Korea in half, the country remains whole. North and South are never created just one Korea, united in rebuilding, reclaiming, and redefining its future. So what would that alternate reality look like? First, no division means no Korean War. That brutal 3-year conflict that claimed over 3 million lives, gone. Families wouldn't have been torn apart. Cities like Seoul and Pyongyang wouldn't have been reduced to rubble. Generations wouldn't grow up under the shadow of trauma and loss. Without the war, Korea could have built a unified government, perhaps a modernized monarchy rooted in tradition, or a democracy inspired by capitalist or communist, but uniquely Korean. Economically, a unified Korea would have had an incredible advantage. The industrial strength and natural resources of the North, combined with the innovation and global trade networks of the South, that's a superpower in the making. Infrastructure could have expanded evenly. Rural and urban gaps might be smaller. Imagine a single Seoul-Pyongyang high-speed rail connecting a booming Korean megacity. Culturally, there would be no need to preserve identity across borders. Shared language, traditions, and family ties would remain intact. Korean pop culture might have emerged even earlier, powered by a united creative force and larger domestic market. And maybe, just maybe today, Korea could be one of the most powerful nations in Asia, if not the world. It's not just a dream, it's a what-if that makes you reflect on how one political decision can alter the fate of millions. What do you think a unified Korea would look like today? Let's talk in the comments. And if this alternate history got you thinking, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's your vision of a united Korea? Let's continue. Number 3. Economic impact. Imagine a Korea where the North's abundant natural resources, coal, iron ore, rare earth metals seamlessly support the South's powerhouse industries like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG. The fusion of these strengths could have created one of the world's most balanced and diversified economies. Rather than two contrasting halves, one isolated and sanctioned, the other globally integrated, a united Korea would stand as a unique blend of industrial muscle and innovative flair. With unified leadership and economic planning post-2, South Korea's rapid industrialization could have spread northward. Cities like Pyongyang and Hamhung might have transformed into tech or manufacturing hubs, reducing population pressure on Seoul and boosting nationwide growth. The North's access to China and Russia, combined with the South's ports and global relationships, would have made the peninsula a powerful trade corridor, possibly rivaling Japan, Germany, or even the UK in economic clout. A single currency, perhaps still called the won, would have helped stabilize the economy early on. Foreign investments might have poured in faster, thanks to a larger, unified consumer base and increased labor supply. Unification could have led to stronger infrastructure, better education access, and massive tourism appeal, from DMZ-free nature trails to preserved historical landmarks. Would Korea have become a G7 member? Very possibly. What do you think? Comment below. Number 4. Cultural fusion. Now imagine a Korea where there was no cultural divide, where K-pop and traditional North Korean performance art coexisted, evolved, and thrived together. If Korea had never split, the cultural landscape could be one of the richest in Asia, maybe even the world. Today's K-pop might look completely different, blending North Korea's classical instruments, orchestral storytelling, and revolutionary-style choreography with the sleek beats, visuals, and global appeal of groups like BTS and Blackpink. Imagine stadium performances that merge folk operas with pop hits, turning Korean music into a hybrid that spans generations and traditions. Film and television could have taken a fascinating path. Instead of the sharply contrasting narratives we see now, South Korea's edgy dramas versus North Korea's controlled propaganda, we might have seen a unified film industry known for deep storytelling, philosophical themes, and cultural preservation. Actors from Pyongyang and Seoul might have trained together, influencing one another's methods and styles. Korea's global film dominance could have started much earlier. Even the Korean language would have remained more consistent. Today, North and South Koreans use slightly different vocabulary and pronunciation due to decades of separation. Without that split, the evolution of Korean would be smoother, making communication seamless across regions, preserving dialects while avoiding linguistic drift. Food is another area of potential magic. North Korea's traditional dishes, earthy, hearty, and rooted in countryside living, could have blended beautifully with the South's spicy, bold, and street food-savvy cuisine. Unified food culture might have produced flavors that dominate global food trends today. Instead of two Koreas with separate cultural identities, we could have had one unified Korean culture, deep, layered, and proudly diverse. What kind of art, music, or food do you think we've missed out on because of the division? Let's talk about it in the comments. If this glimpse into a united Korea sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What part of Korean culture do you think would shine brightest in a unified nation? Let's keep the conversation going. Number 5. Geopolitical influence. Imagine a Korea that was never split, no DMZ, no decades of tension, no war footing. Instead, picture a united Korea with the full weight of its population, resources, and talent aligned under one flag. Geopolitically, such a Korea would be a powerhouse, altering the balance of power across the Asia-Pacific region. Without the threat from the North, the presence of tens of thousands of U.S. troops in South Korea may have been unnecessary, reducing military friction in the region. The Korean Peninsula could have transitioned from a global flashpoint to a stable zone of economic and diplomatic influence. A united Korea might have taken a more neutral or even leading role in regional alliances, possibly reshaping how East Asia negotiates, trades, and cooperates. With North Korea's mineral-rich lands combined with the South's high-tech industries, Korea could have rivaled or even surpassed Japan in influence. This economic and cultural surge would make Korea an undeniable player on the global stage, with strong ties across Asia, the US, and Europe. But how would China have responded to a unified, prosperous Korea right next door? What role would the US play in such a peaceful powerhouse? It's a world of what-ifs, but one worth imagining. What do you think Korea would be like today if it had never split? Or how different would K-pop, tech, or politics be if North and South had stayed together? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video made you see Korea in a new light, hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-opening content, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk. Number 6. Psychological and social effects. The division of Korea didn't just reshape borders, it deeply affected the hearts and minds of millions. Imagine a Korea without that painful split, where families weren't torn apart by borders, and generations could grow up knowing their relatives without restrictions or fear. The psychological and social effects of a unified Korea would be profound and life-changing. First, think about the families separated by the 38th parallel. For over 7 decades, countless people have been unable to see parents, siblings, or children because of political barriers. Without division, these families would have remained whole, sharing holidays, milestones, and everyday moments. The emotional trauma of separation, loss, and uncertainty would be greatly reduced, allowing individuals to grow with a stronger sense of connection and belonging. With no divide, nationalistic tensions would likely be less intense. While pride in culture and identity remains natural, the intense rivalry between North and South Korea has often fed mistrust and fear. A unified nation could foster a healthier, more inclusive sense of national pride, one built on shared history and hope rather than division and conflict. The impact on mental health would be significant too. Generations of Koreans have experienced collective trauma from war, separation, and political oppression. Anxiety, depression, and PTSD linked to these events affect many families to this day. A unified Korea, without the scars of division, might have cultivated stronger mental well-being across its people, allowing them to focus on growth, innovation, and happiness instead of trauma. What do you think? Would a united Korea have changed the mental and social fabric of its people for the better? Have you or your family been affected by Korea's division? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating insights. Korea's division has left a mark on history, politics, and countless lives across generations. But what if we dared to imagine a different future, a Korea reunited, whole again? Thinking about what could have been isn't just a nostalgic exercise. It's an invitation to reflect on hope, healing, and possibilities beyond borders. A united Korea could mean more than just a shared land. It could symbolize restored families, blended cultures, and a powerful global presence. It challenges us to dream about peace where there was conflict, unity where there was division, and opportunity where there was struggle. So, what do you think would happen if Korea reunited today? How would it reshape not just the peninsula, but the world? Your thoughts matter, and this conversation starts with you. Drop your ideas and feelings in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening explorations. Together, let's uncover the stories that shape our world and imagine the futures waiting to unfold.